All right, you'll find this to be a rather strange off-topic video, but I thought maybe it would help some of you, especially who are thinking of getting into a business or moving into, let's say, running a gym. Um, I'm going to share with you the story of me being involved in my my mother and stepfather's gym business. I'll give you a brief summary. I'll not get into too many details, but I'll give you the important bits. I've written down the notes here. Feel free to comment down below and let me know your thoughts. Now, keep in mind, this is at the age of, I think, 20, 25. So around that specific age. I'm 48. So you're talking of nearly 20, 24, 25 years ago. Okay, wow. It's surprising that it's so long ago. Now, the principles that I share with you are pretty universal. It's not like, oh, this is 25 years ago. It's not relevant today. The only thing which was not present those days was, Instagram and social media and Facebook. So obviously, if you're going to factor in viral videos or making videos and all that, that was not there. But let me give you just as a simple sentence, just because you can make social media videos doesn't mean your business will succeed. Okay, today, how many Instagram videos are there? How many Facebook videos? How many TikTok videos are there? Just because you can advertise and put it over there doesn't mean anything is going to happen. And yes, there are gym trainers who show six pack abs and exercise. That also doesn't mean that you're going to have many followers, because the uh, to enter such a field, it's very easy. You don't need to have any qualifications, nothing. The barrier to entry, like they say, it's hardly there. So any Tom, Dick, and Harry can become an influencer. Any Tom, Dick, and Harry can create a course online or video or whatever. Okay, so having kept that aside, let's move to the actual story. Now, this was a phase when my parents were actually searching for a business so that they could focus their attention to and make money. My mother, with all the drawbacks that she had, she was a very enterprising woman who put her feet into, many boats. So she was selling cards, greeting cards, and accessories in churches where she would pay a fixed amount per per month for the last 3 months of the year. Then she tried selling miscellaneous stuffs in bazaars and all that. She would set up stalls in like Dubai Summer Festival and Dubai Shopping Festival. So my mother always tried all kinds of stuff. She had an Ayurvedic center, opened, closed, opened, and again closed. Then finally, she found out that there was this guy selling the gym for a 50% partnership. And he asked for around 350,000 dirhams, say around $100,000. He would sell the gym partnership for 50%. So that time I was not involved, I was working elsewhere. So my mother spoke to that guy. He was I think, Pakistani, Bengali, something, he and his partner. And the gym was pretty dilapidated, very broken, hardly cleaning was there. Members used to come in, they didn't know who the members were. People were throwing weights in the gym. There are some people who take heavy weights after they do the exercise. They think it's manly to smash the weights on the ground. And we saw all that, we kept quiet. It was pretty untidy, very unkept. These two guys, and who was collecting money, and there was nothing, no records. You just take the money. Okay, when did he renew his membership? When has his renewal due? Nothing was known. Okay, so my mother agreed to be the partner and decided, okay, I'll run the gym. Little did she know that this guy was involved in multiple uh, problems where he had to pay money, pay credit cards, pay loan sharks, pay the banks. And the gym itself, his partnership, he had another two or three partners, which were in a legal dispute. She didn't know all this. And then eventually he tried to cheat my mother of the gym membership, claiming that, she gave the money as a loan or something, and this is not for partnership. She took him to court, and eventually she managed to win the court case. Okay. It all happened in a span of 1 to 2 years. So, but the whole thing was a mess. And yeah, she did get police this thing involvement where he couldn't come to the gym. He just couldn't come because he was bringing his goons and trying to threaten her. And that is where my mother involved me. So once legally it became her gym, okay, even before that, when once he stopped coming, she started to really put the time, effort, and money. Even I got involved, cleaning up the gym. First was cleaning up. Everything had to be cleaned up. Then repairing the machines. Most of them were free weights and machines, nothing like electronic or except the treadmills. And then the paint job, then putting a one television which was never being used at that time, and then obviously had to redo the books of accounts, okay, to figure out are we running profit. But they found out they were running heavily under a loss. Nobody knew who was the member, not the member. And although she did work in health club, she didn't know how to run it. But that was where I came in because I knew how to run the gym. So after I took over, she told me, I told her, I'll only join if I can be a manager and I'm on the payroll. She agreed for a $1,500 salary plus accommodation, means stay. I was given the reins of being like a manager, like in charge of the gym. So the first most important thing in a gym is obviously cleanliness, which we finished, equipment, which was there. But the most important thing in that part of the gym, it was in Sarja, Rola, which was a very busy place, especially if you're coming from the super long bridge and you come down into Rola. This is for the people who stay in Sarja. It was on the right hand side. Okay. After the subway, a very famous landmark where you go under the ground. So there was the gym. So I realized quickly, okay, the people who are coming from these areas, they are normally bachelors and family people who do not earn a very big salary, and they don't spend more than the gym membership was $50 a month, not very much. Okay, so we were targeting kind of lower middle class people to middle class, not even upper middle class. So right off the bat, I told my mother, I'm taking charge, so let me implement my policies. And I started focusing on trying to get a coach because the quality of the gym is the quality of the coach. So it was not easy, and I knew it wouldn't be easy. Every day, there were people, applicants who would come down, apply for a coach. I would try him, but then I found out he's crap. I bring another coach, introduce people, this is the coach. They would try him. I found out he either they are lazy or they're sitting down or they're, I don't know. They used to chat on their phone or look at something else or read or watch TV, the TV that was there. So I realized this is not the right coach. And it became a running joke that ever since I took over, every day there would be a new coach. It became a joke. People started laughing, but I knew what I was doing. Finally, one day I found one guy, big, huge, like is like bigger than me, 6 feet plus. And he came there and he said he wants to work out in the gym, but he doesn't have any money. And later on, I found out from other members he's a gangster. He's one of the most feared guys in the whole area. And he's a young guy, and he didn't have, he was a Pakistani, and that also later on I found out he doesn't have his own passport also. So he's an illegal guy staying there. But he was very feared. He was so feared that he had a gang that if you would park in his spot, they would actually, 6, 7 guys, they were complete juiced up to the gills. They would lift that car and put it on, some other place. And there were infamous stories where he would train in the gym, and if something would hit, one of the lat pull down machine hit his head, he almost took the machine and lifted the whole bloody thing to throw it and damage the gym. So I heard a lot of stories. And people like, don't take him, then he will destroy the gym and we'll all leave. However, I looked at it differently. I thought if if I can get this guy on my side, maybe he will really show improvement in the gym. I don't know. I just took a leap of faith. And I called him for a meeting with me, and I told him, "See, listen, these are the stories I've heard. Okay, let me just." He tried to interrupt. I said, "Just listen. I'm not criticizing you. This is what people have said, and you said you want to train free in the gym." I told him, "Can I offer you something? Okay, can I offer you a deal?" He said, "What is the deal?" So, and remember, this guy's huge, huh? Big. So I'm like a small in front of him. So he said, I told him, I will let you train free in the gym. I want you to be like a gym trainer. Okay. You train in the gym and you teach others, but just maintain discipline and don't break anything. I requested him, don't get violent, don't bring your gang members, don't bring like cigarettes and this and that. And I said, I want you to treat this gym as if it's your own. Give me ideas and I will, we can work together. And I said, uh, I'm not going to pay you a salary because I don't know whether you can do the job or you can't do the job. So he said, as long as you give me free to train in the gym, I'm okay. I said, right. And I also told him, don't bring steroids in the gym because I found out he sells steroids. So he started to train in the gym and he was helping others. But very soon I noticed that he was like shouting at some guys and saying, and I never got involved until people came in. And then, obviously, because I was in a see-through with glass kind of office, because I had to see what is going on, people would come in. He shouted at me and he told, I'm not doing workouts properly and all that. I said, I listened to both sides, but I would always take his side. And then very soon he's realized that I'm on his side. So people who are sweating, this is one habit our Indians and Pakistanis have. They believe if you sweat, you're a man. And they take their sweat like this. They don't use towel. They take like this and they throw it on the ground. Really. And if they were sweating and they lie down on a gym bench, it's wet with sweat, but they'll not clean it. They'll say someone else should clean. So I told him that I want to make sure people bring their own towels or they don't train in the gym. And doing this with the sweat is not allowed. He made sure he reinforced, and people who didn't follow, we would reimburse their money, get out. Okay, which was never done in the gym. And I told people used to take weights, lift, and then smash it down, and there were holes in the ground. Seriously, and the weights used to get damaged. I made it very clear. Big steroid heads, somewhere locals and all that. I said, you're paying $50 and you're trying to damage $500. Take your money and get out. Okay. And obviously, you can't say get out, but they wouldn't touch me because this guy was there. Very soon, I found out that he was making everyone disciplined. And so I immediately called him into the office. That was hardly after a week. And I told him, I'll give you a salary per month, but because he didn't have a passport, couldn't make it official. And I'll give you a salary per month. Plus, to make him happy, I said, I'll be also giving you a supplements. You can make sure they are authentic, not fake. I'll give you a commission on that. You can have your own private classes, but we pay 50-50. So I give him a lot of incentives and programs. And oh man, he was so happy. And I said, I'll give you the respect of being a coach. I'll never overstep you, but make sure you don't break my trust. And it worked beautifully. Was not the thing. To the surprise of everyone, there was order. People made sure that they even filled up their name before they entered the gym. When they came to the gym, they were dressed up proper. People used deodorant. Many of them didn't. If they were sweating, they would clean their own sweat. Towels are provided. And very soon the gym atmosphere became good. And with him, I found out that we could introduce training programs. In fact, to make sure we got good quality crowd, if I found a customer who really added value, I would give him, special offer. Okay, if you can bring someone like you, Because if you have a community, I knew that the gym popularity would grow. I said I would give them a discount, okay, or I would give you a discount for your membership. So they started promoting people in the gym. I went to the shopkeepers, which was never done before, nearby all the shops, and I said, if you send any customer to the gym, I'll give you the full gym membership of that month. You'll get it as a bonus. You'll not believe, so many people, instead of doing their work in the shops, is to bring their customers who are buying like clothes or socks or sandwiches, or as they bring them to the gym to give them a tour. So the gym started to work out very well. And very soon we started having people. But just as, when things start working well, you start getting new problems. And the problems I started to find out was, there is a time where people finish work, and it's a rush hour. And that is where the gym used to get really full. And there was hardly any, like, imagine, we had a full floor. It was big, but there were a lot of people coming to the gym. So then, obviously, if it is too full, then, people like to go to a gym where it's a little quiet. Obviously, we had to expand and take another premises. So now we had two premises. But still, when it was only during 7 to 10 o'clock or 6 to 10 o'clock in the evening. So I had to offer incentives for people to come during the dead hour. The dead hour was in the afternoons, and the gym were closed in the afternoons. I told my parents, I want to run it in the afternoons so that anyone who comes here can train in the gym. So afternoon, the gym is not being used, might as well be used. I offered them 50% off if they came in the afternoons, the dead zone. In the mornings, there were people who were coming. That time also it used to be full, but not in the afternoons. And very soon, I actually took the risk, and which nobody else did. And I decided to make it a 24-hour gym. That means morning, afternoon, night, full day. And to my surprise, there were people who were ready to train in the night. And once again, the gym was making money. So at different slots, we were constantly having customers. But however, this is where things started to go downhill. And what was the reason for it? Once money starts coming in, no, people change. And my mother, she had this DNA in her. When you're making money, why should we pay you a salary? Why should you continue? Don't need to have you. And this is where she bought my stepbrother, who is my stepfather's actual son. I was a manager. They appointed him as a general manager. I have nothing against him. We have closed and sorted this issue years ago. But at that time, you're talking about 25, 26, or nearly 30 years ago. My mother was a big fan of his. So my brother was from Australia. My brother who was studying his pilot license in Australia came down. And where I was the manager, she appointed him as the general manager. So now I have to take instructions from him, which I was not going to. And very soon it became so bad that I decided I'm not going to continue. I offered my resignation because they were busy changing all the rules that I kept. And I didn't like it. So I left. However, this was where it was the beginning of the end, I'll tell you. One is I made the gym membership on a variable rate. Afternoons, nobody was there. You can train in the afternoons. Peak hours, same pricing. Nighttime, because the gym is totally empty, I would give them, let's say, 50% off. So they found it worth training. My stepbrother came. The first mistake he made is he made the same rate throughout the day. His logic was, you're getting benefit of the gym, you pay the money. He made this. After that, he made the second blunder where he increased the fees of the gym because he said he's going to offer premium services. And people who just want to come and train in the gym don't want to pay more. Once you pay less, you will not want to pay more unless there's something seriously rare or incredible. Then number three is he started insulting the members, which was not good. You don't know how to train, you don't know how to behave, and people don't like to be insulted. The fourth thing, what he did was where I used to ask people, just write down your name and, you know, small little ledger. He introduced ID cards. He wanted to make it like an Australian gym, like one of those, expensive premium gyms. He made a ID card which cost money, which he had to transfer to these people. Then there was, like camera identifying you and your face scan. And he bought that new technology. So obviously he had to charge these people. And there were a lot of people who didn't like all this. And they didn't want to pay for this. And they didn't, some of them, even though there was no privacy issues or social media those days, a lot of Arab locals, they didn't like their photos being taken or the ID. They just didn't want it. There's a Kali Wali. And then he actually removed my gym coach because they wanted them to have elegant looking, sophisticated people. They even had thought about having whites. They will focus on the white community. Man, we are staying in where all Malayalis and Pakistanis and Bangladeshis, Sri Lankans are. What whites? And then he had a strategy where he would bring Dubai crowd. Who the fuck is going to come from Dubai, which was like 20, 25 kilometers away? And that also in a traffic jam, it would take you 1 hour. He tried to target that audience. He never came. He increased the fees and he tried to give like premium juices, premium supplements, which cost was very high, thinking that he would get elite level people coming there. Um, there was a television set, TV. I used to put sometimes Hindi movies and songs because these are low class people, then they would be very happy walking on treadmill and looking at the movie. I think it was my mother's idea or someone, they stopped allowing people to watch television. They stopped, you would only see, I don't know, exercise, not even exercise. I think they didn't allow them. And then the final nail on the coffin was when they stopped the 24-hour gym. They stopped opening the gym in the afternoons. They only had during limited hours. So here you have a small window where you can do exercise. And it's super crowded. And on top of that, you're increasing the fees of the gym. On top of that, you are insulting the members. On top of that, there are no new facilities. Um, in fact, sorry, I forgot to share this very embarrassing incident. After my brother came to take over, imagine I'm opening the gym for people to do exercise, even in the night, even during holidays, I would let them train. One day when I wanted to come to the gym, they actually locked me out. They locked the gym and they wouldn't allow me to open the gym, to enter the gym and allow other people to train. I mean, why are you closing down the gym? Okay, electricity is running, but people are training. People are happy. Business will run. So eventually, you know, and my parents never thought that other gyms could open, that there would be competition. This is exactly what happened. I think 4 new gyms opened in that area, vicinity, because they saw we were doing good. Um, they offered our own gym members free for a couple of months. So they all moved. And very soon, you don't believe, the water, electricity, all those expenses, they became so much. After I left, I actually found out that they didn't pay for a year. They didn't pay the rent for a year. They didn't pay salaries for a year. And my mother, I don't know what she was thinking. She took money, mortgaging the gym, and ended up with almost, I think, nearly overall with all her failed business ventures, nearly 1 million in debt. And they had to close down the gym. They had to sell it off. I don't know. By the way, there was a local sponsor. Those days, you needed to have a sponsor to have a license. That means 51% belongs to him. They had issues there also. I bought a very good, very powerful sheikh's relative. They messed it up with him also. And even though he refused to take any money, he wanted the gym to run well. I had named the gym after him. I'll not give you his name right now. They made him go against me, finally. Eventually, it was a shits, complete, utter disaster. The greed of money made my mother want to throw me out because she saw money coming in. Uh, However, the honeymoon phase only lasted so long. But I would tell you one thing. This is me being very fair, mature, and honest. Even if our gym was running very well, let's assume in a hypothetical parallel universe, they told me to continue running it. The added pressure of more gyms that were opened, those four, plus they're offering free services, that would have really put a dent on our revenues. Because end of the day, nobody has to be loyal to a gym. A gym is a gym. And maybe if you get a new environment cheaper, why not? So they were targeting our quality members, and supplements you can get outside for cheap. Um, that gym coach was very loyal, but then they got rid of him. So to get a new replacement was hard. But here's the part that will really shock you the most, the biggest shocker. After running the gym, making it work, getting so many customers, clients, the net profit per month, this is the part that will really shock you. The net profit per month, after all the salaries, everything, was enough for only, I think, 3 to 4 people. That's it. You will have enough, like you might earn 1,500 to $2,000 per month for 3 to 4 people. That's it. So after 24 hours of working, putting all your effort, creativity, making the gym run. Like even I used to put disco lights so people would see those lights and want to come close. I did so many things from introduce competitions where people would get money and fun stuff where we would have group exercises. I'd even put movies sometimes to just keep them entertained. It's so sad that it died out. But like I told you, the net profit. See, if you give someone free membership for a couple of months, then those months you don't make any money. You might get the full money, but then what do you do for the next month? So you might think that, oh, having a gym, you don't have to spend money on weights. Weights are permanently there. You don't have to. It doesn't work that way. Anyone can buy weights. Anyone can buy a gym machine. But what will make the members come again and again and spend more? There you have to be creative. And to get recurring members, and remember, there's only maximum capacity. Beyond that, you can't. So I tried 24 hours a day. I tried during the afternoon. I tried ways and means to make it work more. But at the end of the day, running a gym business is not all that easy. Because I told you, after 24 hours of work, if only thing you get is 1,500 US dollars to 2,000 per head, after all the expenses, all the bills, electricity, water, rent, everything is paid, what's the point? You might as well work in a corporate job and get 3 people's salary per person. And yes, the worst part was because we had a local sponsor, he kept increasing the charges. The new one did not. But the rent is a killer in the Middle East, UAE. They doubled the rent because they saw how well we were doing. And what can you do? You can't threaten, oh, I'll leave this gym. It was a prime location. So doubling the rent also really hurt our business. So it's not that if I'd continued, it would have been a success. Eventually, it would have died out, but maybe after 10, maybe 10 years or so, or 15 years max. But my parents, after they got me booted out, I think in less than one 1 to 2 years, they killed the entire thing. And I'm not blaming my brother, but he was too young. He was hardly in his 20s. No, he was not in his 20s also, sorry. I was 25, I think. He was, I think, 16, 17, 18, or whatever. He was a young boy. He totally fucked it up. And because my parents listened to him, too many cooks spoil the broth, they say. Broth, right? So don't have too many people. End of the day, do I recommend a gym business? No. I don't recommend it unless, of course, um, your livelihood doesn't depend on it. It's just an extra earning. Because remember, after everything else, if the land is yours, if the gym infrastructure is yours, then fine, then it's okay. But if you have to keep paying rent, uh, no. And if your sole bread and butter comes from there, absolutely no. That is what I would suggest to all of you. Because remember, opening a gym is damn easy and you'll have many competitors. There's no gym loyalty as such. And once a new gym opens and you lose members, that's it. Good, bad, ugly, feel free. Comment down below. Love to hear your thoughts. This is me signing off. Tell me.